Hello guys, welcome to today's video, and in today's video, we have hope, maybe, for YBA's endgame, something that I didn't think I'd ever be able to say. But before I talk about any of this, while I still have everyone's attention and nobody's clicked off the video, please go support this so Uzu knows that we actually want an endgame rather than just miscellaneous things getting thrown in every once in a while. The stuff we're talking about here comes directly from a poll from Paragon in the Discord, and despite the fact that I have a mountain of problems that I'll be talking about with this poll, the baseline thing needs to be heard by Uzu, so I'll be linking the Discord post in the description of the video. If you're already in the YBA Discord, you might need to scroll up a little bit to find it, but if you click the link, it should bring you right there. If you like what you see there, please click yes on this poll. I'll be going through all of it shortly so you actually know what you're voting on, but I don't want to lose anybody before I actually tell you, please go support this. It deserves your support, trust me. Now that I've finished shilling for the poll, we're going to talk about what's actually in this thing and why I'm so potentially excited about it. For those who missed it, Paragon put out a poll today for me, probably either yesterday or a few days back for you, depending on how long it takes me to put the video together. And in essence, this poll would give you the ability to prestige indefinitely, or close to indefinitely. I'll throw up the image right now, and you'll be able to see that the rewards that you get for prestiging after Prestige 3 won't give you skill points, which is a really good idea, because if they gave you skill points, frankly, it would break the game, and your level would raise by 5 each time. Now, when it comes to rewards for prestiging, there's a bunch of examples listed here, and I'm not going to go over every single one of them, but I will be talking about the general gist of it all when I get down to it. Now, moving past that part, and the second part of the poll shows off even more stuff that you could potentially be getting as a result of prestiging again. Simple stuff like Roka's corpse parts and that kind of thing, but also potentially better things like lucky arrows, better shiny rate, better pity building, that kind of stuff. Overall, you would get a load of minor stat boosts for going through the prestige system again. Some of the bigger things on here that I would really like to see are more stand spec and cosmetic storage slots. Seeing as a lot of you already know, in order to avoid having to go through the pain of getting more storage slots and spending a ton of money, I made like 18 alt accounts. And frankly, you shouldn't have to do that. And if there was actually a way to get more, that would be brilliant. Now, obviously, there's a whole lot here you can read through, and I'm not going to read through every single thing because I don't want you to be here all day, and I'm also doing my best not to lose attention because I want people to actually stick around and then vote yes. If you haven't voted yes already, please vote yes. Now, if you don't want to hear the negatives and you don't want to hear my complaints because, well, that's basically all I do here, then now you can click off, hopefully after voting yes, and we'll be done here. For the rest of you that want me to tear this to shreds and ruin your dreams, then stick around, because we'll be doing that right now. Despite the fact that I absolutely love this poll, and I think it's a great idea, there are a lot of problems. And I think the biggest one is the prestiging system as a whole, and the fact that it's going to increase by 5 levels each time. Think about just how long it already takes you to go from Prestige 1 to Prestige 3. Now think about the fact that every single time you go past a Prestige, it goes up by 5 levels. And every single time it goes up by 5 levels, presuming that we follow the same kind of way it was before, the amount of XP you need in order to go up those next 5 levels also increases, because that's how, well, it works in YBA. That would mean that every single time you Prestige, you would increase your level cap by 5 and increase the amount of XP you needed to go up each of those 5 levels, effectively making it so you would have to kill Jotaro like 18 or 19 times in order to get 1 level. I don't know about you guys, but killing Jotaro 18 or 19 times does not sound like a good time. And that definitely is my overall biggest problem with the system as it is laid out right now. Obviously, things are subject to change, and anything that happens or doesn't happen here is up to Uzu, which I'll be talking about in a minute. But if it was implemented as it is currently with no changes, I think it would be an absolute nightmare and would take you ages and ages and ages to even get past Prestige 5. I can't see there being that many people who would be willing to kill the same mindless NPC thousands of times just to get up 1 prestige. That being said, I don't think that there's not a solution to this, but I'm gonna talk solutions after I've complained, so we'll get there. Next up on here, and it's the rewards. I think the rewards are definitely very minor, and Paragon really played it safe here, and I don't necessarily think that that's a problem, but I do think that the rewards being as small and insubstantial as they are is a little bit disappointing, or more so, a lot of bit disappointing, and definitely not an incentive for people to go out of their way to go past Prestige 3. Something like 2% more cash gain from quests and killing NPCs is not something that people want to strive for. And yeah, I know, if the rewards are better past that point, then people may be more inclined to go through that pointless filler arc in order to get there. But still, at the end of the day, incredibly low percentage increases of stuff that already takes forever is not a great incentive to get people to continue to play. And finally, the last thing on here, and definitely the biggest thing, is I don't think this has a chance of ever happening. See, that's why I did my best to send everyone away before I actually said this. My hope, trust, and ability to believe in the development team to get things that are in-depth and wouldn't increase monetization are not that high. And the speed that anything gets done in YBA, if you haven't been paying attention somehow, is, well, not great. We get an update every like 2 or 3 months, and in that update, there's not usually very much in there. So the odds of them going out of their way to make an update that would increase longevity instead of making more money is just not something that I can really see happening. I don't know, maybe I'm just really jaded. I'm sure I am, but I think there's also a lot of people that are in my boat right now who have been around for a long time, have seen the cycle of abuse over and over and over again, and have gone, yeah, I'm not getting burned by this again. And I am not getting burned by this again. There have been hundreds of polls in the YBA Discord, a lot of them really, really good, and most of them completely ignored. That's not necessarily a bad thing, as there's also tends to be a lot of bad polls, like locking SBR behind a paywall in order to stop cheaters, which may have been the worst idea I've ever seen. But honestly, on that front, I'm surprised Uzu didn't implement that immediately. Free money, like I said, more monetization. But still, the point stands, I just don't think there's any chance that this happens. But that's also why I want as many people to support it as possible, because it might actually give it a chance. The other thing, which is at the end of the poll, which I didn't touch on at all because I basically know that it has no chance right now, is that the poll would give extra storylines, maps, and quests that everyone wants a reason to actually exist. And while it is true that this would give maps, quests, and storylines in other areas a reason to exist, I don't think they would, because that's a lot of work for Uzu and the team to put in, and based on the previous track records, an update that big would take them 3 years to make without any updates in between. So I don't know, I just don't really see it happening. Now, getting off my negative Nancy horse and moving into solutions, and how do I think I can fix or try to remedy some of the problems that I have with this system? And the first thing, and the biggest thing on here, is that prestiging past Prestige 3 should no longer reset yourself back to level 0. I know, controversial, but hear me out. The inspiration I'll be taking here is from Call of Duty of all things. Call of Duty in the past has had a system called Master Prestiges. When you get to the quote-unquote max prestige, it brings you into Master Prestige. And in Master Prestige, you no longer get sent back to level 1, and you can just continue leveling up until level 1000, or whatever the cap is in that game. Now, this kind of Master Prestige system is what I think they should do when it comes to YBA. And why I think that is because, well, if you consistently reset people back to level 1 every single time, I really don't think that many people are going to go out of their way to do this, and so basically no one is going to benefit. I don't think it's a secret that going through the storyline and then killing the same enemies over and over again and then killing the same bosses over and over again isn't exactly anyone's idea of a fun or enjoyable time. And so a master prestige system where after prestige 3, you can continue to level up, continue to hit milestones, but you're not constantly limited by the fact that you're getting sent back to level 1 would be a good idea. Now, admittedly, if they did debut this system with another map or something, and then you actually could have yourself be reset to level 1 for maybe 3 more prestiges so that those missions would actually be, difficult, then that might be a way around this, but I can't say for sure. I really do think that a master prestige system would be better than just slapping on more prestiges. Now on that front, I know what a lot of you are asking. You're asking, well, what's even the point of having a master prestige system? The best ways of getting XP are still going to be there, and it's still going to be kill Jotaro Kujo over and over and over and over and over and over and over again to get the most amount of XP, so that's all people will be doing. And that's where I think a few things really need to be changed. And on that front, I'm of course talking about the other game modes in YBA, which currently, after you hit Prestige 3, have basically zero purpose aside from Steel Ball Run, which is filled with cheaters. As it stands right now, winning a 1v1 gets you like $50. That's nothing. Winning a 2v2, I can't even remember how much you get, but I can't imagine it's any more than $50. Point being, you don't get jack shit for completing these modes and winning them. So that's where the Master Prestige system basically kicks in. I think that there should be substantial XP rewards for winning 1v1s, winning 2v2s, and winning SBRs, because that would have people actually want to go into those modes and play them and play to win in order to get XP. I do think that you should still get XP if you lose, because having to go through the whole thing, losing and getting nothing would kind of suck. And it would also make people actually want to complete their games instead of just rage quitting out after dying once. If there's a reward at the end, even if you lose, people are less inclined to quit. And I know there's a lot of people who don't play any of these game modes whatsoever and just stick to main game. And I don't necessarily think these people in main game should get completely gypped out of getting XP from fighting other people, because I know there's a lot of people who just do that. But then you also get into the issue of random killing and people interrupting quests and that kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, whether random killing is right or not, or justified or not, I don't think it's really a question that if a Prestige 3 is murdering a Prestige 0 trying to do their storyline, they're probably an asshole, and that's probably not something we should be trying to encourage. And while I do think that there should be some sort of reward for fighting people in main game so it's not just totally wasted, I do think it definitely needs to be done well within reason. And the reason I say this is if you do something as simple as making it scale with level, then it basically puts a massive bounty on anyone that joins the server that's a high level. Imagine you're a Prestige 15 and you join into a server and you just start getting ganked by the whole server because they know if they kill you, they get a ton of XP. That doesn't sound like a lot of fun for the guy who's Prestige 15. So I don't really know the perfect system when it comes to main game. Of course, they do have access to the actual quests which give you XP, but surprise, surprise, I don't have all the answers, and I never do. So if you've got any ideas for this one, let me know. Finally, last thing on here when it comes to solutions for things, and I don't even think this is something I super complained about, but the Master Prestige levels should require the same amount of XP every single time you level up. This is what they did in Call of Duty, and I think it's the right play. This makes it so you no longer have to constantly rebalance the amount of XP gained by certain actions over and over and over again. Because frankly, having to rebalance the amount of XP you get from every single action, every single time you level up and prestige, sounds like a serious pain. So it would be a whole lot easier for the developers and for us if it was just a flat gain for every level past level 50 when you hit Prestige 3. Now, when it comes to how do we get Uzu to actually do any of this stuff, which is the one solution that I won't have on here because it's impossible, so I don't really have an answer. And that's the answer. I don't have an answer. How do we get Uzu to do this? Support the poll and pray, I guess. I don't know. We already know that Stone Free is coming in the next update. I can guarantee you that this is not coming in whatever that next update is, and probably not the update after that one. But I can't say for sure. I don't know development back end over there. I just have no clue. I'm completely in the dark. So if you want to see something like this, you want more to do, you want there to be actual rewards for playing, go support this poll. I may have problems with it, but at the end of the day, it's better than nothing. So please, go support it. With that, I'm pretty much done talking here. I'm curious to see what the general community sentiment is around this poll, because I know there are some people in my community that won't brainlessly follow everything I say and actually have their own opinions. So if you do have your own opinion, feel free to let me know what it is in the comment section below. I do read them. If you leave memes, I probably won't read it. With that though, I'm done. If you enjoyed this video, you liked what you saw, you can leave a like, subscribe. If you didn't, don't do those things. And with all that being said, have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you next time.